Yep. I skipped the intro. It is what it is today.
Hey,
I don't care.
get it. We rocking. We live. What's
We
popping?
yeah. We had to go hot today. We started off. We started a little late. You know, brothers is on the road. Brothers is trying to get home. It is what it is. But how y'all doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good, man. It's a busy day, but we here. It's a Friday, man.
We
We
are
got
here.
football.
We have football, and
I,
look, what time I'm on when the pink drink come out. So we're here. Um, let's start off with the bullshits. I have a problem with how my man Coach Prime has been being received by media, other coaches, etc. Um, this is the third week in a row that an opposing team has come out with their feelings
Just,
on Coach
nah,
Prime.
just call it bullshit. Call it what it really is.
Okay, I'm just trying to be
crying,
nice. I'm trying to be nice. Trying
crying,
to be nice.
No,
crying. They
no,
crying
no,
right now.
no. We
They
don't do
being nice
feelings.
today. They crying.
Okay, so tell me, give me your feelings on Colorado State's head coach and his antics and statement about Coach Prime. And did you see
Well,
what Coach Prime did after that?
yes, phenomenal
Okay.
business promotion by Prime. First of all,
Yep.
secondly, when that coach came out and did that, first thing I did was say cap because as soon as he said I take off my hat and sunglasses to talk to adults, social media lit him up because they admittedly posted 500 pictures of this man being in an interview with a sun visor hat on. So miss me with that
Yep.
bullshit. First and
Exactly.
foremost. Like what you did was you wrote a check that your team's ass can't cash, and then you're finna get smoked by 40, and then
It's
you're
gonna
gonna
be
come out
bad.
then you're gonna be all apologetic and shit when you do your post game. Oh, that's not what I meant. Y'all took it out of context. Nah, my brother, we heard you.
No,
You
we
tried to
know
talk.
exactly what you meant.
Yeah. You told this man you take off your hat and sunglasses when you talk to adults. Coach Prime is almost 60 years old. He is older than you, sir.
Or you're insinuating that he wasn't raised right because you said that's what my mother taught me.
Mm. Yeah, the
Yeah.
intricate words, right? Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, right? The whole statement was weird in itself because you you said that you were raised to take off your hat and glasses when you talk to adults. Motherfucker, y'all are both adults. You guys are both grown ups as to what you said in your motherfucking. So,
Yeah.
what are you even talking about? What are you insinuating that you have some type of power or demeanor over him? Like that doesn't make any damn sense. You guys are both grown
Zero.
ups. If I'm gonna go to another grown up, I'm gonna talk to another grown up or address another grown up. However the fuck I'm gonna address him? As long as I'm addressing them with respect. None of that other stuff matters. What I got on don't fucking matter. Me having glasses or a hat don't
No.
matter. The
And
thing
these are
about it, the thing about it, they know he's coming, bro, and they don't like it. They
oh,
can't.
I'm
They
gonna get
can't
to that in a
stop it.
second. I'm
You
gonna get to that
understand?
part in a second.
So at the end of the day, all I'm gonna say is Dion, keep doing what you're doing because, like my boy GQ said, it was great marketing for the business, and now they got something to really go out there and kick your ass because at the end of the day, bro, y'all was not going to compete in that game, but
Yep.
you
No.
just
Listen to
gave
this.
them. Actually, y'all just made it what
You made it worse. You made
personal.
it worse. You made it
So
because in the Nebraska game, what did Shador say? This is
It's
personal.
personal.
So
personal.
every week that you go in and you talk crazy about Dion and his father, those kids love him. Those kids have run through walls for him. So you adding fuel to the fire that he already got the fire as high as it can get. And you just
Mm-hmm.
throwing logs and gasoline and everything else you can possibly think of onto this big ass fire. It's not going to end up well for you. It's not.
At all.
But then I also want to get to another thing. I think I said it last week. I'm not sure, but there is an overwhelming a groundswell of us. I'm gonna go at us now that are complaining. Oh, why didn't he have all of these celebrities at the Jackson State games? And did y'all not watch? See, this I know none of y'all watch Jackson State games
I seen that as
because
well. I seen that as well.
he's doing the exact same thing he did at Jackson State. It's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You were referring to if anybody's confused, you're referring to it when Wu Tang came to the Colorado game, correct? Yeah, because a lot of people were trying to be up in arms about that as well. There
Yeah.
have been a slew full of celebrities that have came through Jackson State games. If you guys actually watched the games,
If you watched it, put like this,
especially pregame.
Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, was at a Jackson State game. I mean,
So was
granted,
Michael Irving. Michael Irving
like,
was there. Dwayne Johnson was there. Like Michael Strahan was there. He flew Michael Strahan into a Jackson State game during
right.
HBCU's one of their big weeks that they had. I think it was for the homecoming game to be exact, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again,
So
if you actually watch the games,
Not to mention him and Michael Strahan literally cashed out for their entire uniform line.
Didn't Michael Strahan buy the suits for the players at Jackson State?
But also bought the suits for the players as well. Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure my information was correct.
It's crazy, right?
But this is what happens. You get mad that we don't have black coaches. I think we touched on this. Now that you get a black coach who talk like you, swag like you, all of the things like you, now you don't like it. It's weird to me. And Dr. Umar, brother, you need to stop. You need to stop.
Yeah, you need to go sit your ass down somewhere.
Like, because you're making yourself look very, very foolish out in these streets. But like I said, it's a whole nother thing, another topic for another day. I also want to make one more thing before I move on to the next topic. Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. It's not Caleb Williams. It's Shedeur Sanders. I have my reasons for it. We're going to get into that soon. But they have a showdown in 3 weeks. USC, Colorado.
Yep. And I'm like you. I hope that they're both undefeated when this game
I want them both to be
because
undefeated when that game happens.
Because if they're both undefeated, it's going to be a top 10 matchup. Because if Colorado is undefeated going into that game, they will be in the top 10. If Colorado does what they're supposed to do and beats USC, Colorado will come in as the number 7 or 6 team in the nation after that game.
Yep. Easy. And
because
like I said it before.
Because if they beat USC, the only other team that would trip them up potentially would have been Utah, which is towards the end of the season.
But they got Oregon before they play USC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like after they play.
Oh, they go into it. Yeah, after that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, 100%. We're gonna keep it on college right now because we're gonna
invaded by a carpet muncher. He busted in the door like Debo. So
hey, when you can't say carpet muncher on these airwaves because I know what you're talking about, but somebody else may take that a totally different way. So, that
was a different phrase.
Hey, I like hardwood floor anyway. Okay, I like hardwood floor anyway. A fresh wax on that hardwood, make it slide. I'm just playing. Never mind. Let me stop.
Look, okay. I'm just saying.
The next one.
All right,
you go going down this.
I'm not even gonna get started today. We can go into the next one. Go ahead.
We're gonna get into. We're gonna stay with this toxic environment in college football. We're gonna take this Alabama. You have to hold this L. You got to hold it.
Big L. That makes the show.
Your fan base. What they said to those kids in Texas,
yep.
I'm not even going to say it's kind of fucked up. It's 100% fucked up. 100%. Give me you guys' opinions on these Alabama fans.
Well, first and foremost, having a
in case for people who don't know, this is why I was talking to GQ. I don't know if we can, plug in videos and stuff like that for people to see exactly what we're talking about. But Alabama fans were telling the Texas students they need to go back to the projects where they came from.
Yep, there was a slew full of slurs hurled the Texas players away, and for anybody that were questioning the race or the skin tone of these players, yes, they were black.
Oh, they were black.
So,
and I give the kids credit. I give those kids credit. They didn't feed into it.
Exactly. And
they just kept on dancing. It was good.
They just kept on dancing. I mean, because at the end of the day, they're in a position that everybody in those stands aspire to be. So They have nothing to do but celebrate. But few things on that. Number one, it's crazy how we draw so much stereotype, bro. Like, it's easy to look at a black person and say, go back to the hood, go back to the projects and stuff like that. But I mean, Texas is a very prominent school. You have to have a lot of money to go there, no?
Texas is not much. Look, I would go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock out on that one.
So I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people can sit up there and assume that these young black kids are from the projects or from the hood, but you don't know that their parents could be could have more money than your parents. They could be very, very well off. A lot of people like to assume that these guys, just because they play for a private school and they're on scholarship, which they earn, by the way. We're not here to act like these players don't earn the scholarships that they're on.
We can make the assumption that you live in Alabama, and if you want me to make assumptions on what I think Alabama is, you don't want me to do that.
I can definitely pull up some.
You don't want me to do that.
Some factual statistics about Alabama, the whole state in general, but that's not what we're here to do. It's just interesting how people like to assume, because at the end of the day, they don't want people to assume that they're I don't know, racist or anything, right? Because that's the one thing that makes their skin crawl, right? Oh my God, this person just called me racist. Well, if you didn't exhibit those mannerisms, then people wouldn't call you that. So it's just funny that a lot of people will try to take the joy and take the glory away from young kids or from young men over a football game. When you can strictly keep it football. And it's sad, bro, because at the end of the day, in this time and age where shit is so posted.
Alabama's the spoiled little kid whose parents were like doctors and lawyers, and they lost their job, and now they have to get regular jobs, and they don't know how to live life as regular kids.
That's really what it is, bro. Yep. Honestly, like, and when you look at their fan, and honestly, it's really the fans. I'm not going to sit up here and condemn the program. It's really the fans.
I'm just talking about the fans because they're used to winning.
Yeah,
and they got their ass cracked.
Yeah, I've been in that type of environment, right? And just like I said, having a younger brother who went to Alabama and played in the national championship, played in the Iron Bowl, like those, it's different. Like it's really different, right? And I'm not gonna sit there and make excuses for it, but at the end of the day, like this is the game. That's somebody's child you're talking about. And with social media being boasted so much, don't be surprised if you lose some opportunities because of that. Alabama is a very prominent school with a very prominent medical program. You better hope you're not in that.
Yeah, my first initial issue with the whole thing is, one, we're continuing to set ourselves back as a nation off of something this ignorant.
Yep.
The second problem I have with this is these are younger individuals that are doing this, which tells me that you have some issues at home with your home training in the first place. So I can only imagine if this is how you act, I imagine your parents are probably worse.
Yep.
In public.
Because look, this is learned behavior. This is learned.
Yeah. You don't just wake up and be like, I don't like this. Because, first of all, Alabama's football program, the majority of your athletes are African American, first of all. It's not a predominantly white program, I'll tell you that much. That ain't the case. Like, and then, of course, Texas. We talked, and because Mooley's brought it up, I'll speak on it real quick. Texas is the fourth most expensive college in Texas. All right? Texas A&M, Baylor, Rice, UT. Those are in the exact order of those four colleges in the state of Texas. A&M is $34,000 a year for tuition to give you a reference point. So you have to figure it out. And you talked about the prominence of going to UT, right? If you are not
you're breaking up a little bit.
Your graduating class, guess where you're not going? You're not going to the University of Texas. Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You cleared up.
Coming in decent again. Okay. Yeah. So like I was saying, if you're not in the top 10 of your high school graduating class, guess where you're not going? The University of Texas. So
nope.
Say what you want about those individuals. You either got to be a damn good athlete or you got to be smart. And those kids are probably both. And them kids in the stands, you probably just there getting your So there was no need for that at a football game. Like, there just wasn't.
Literally.
Not at all. Sliding on over, we're going to hit the pro level now.
I do want to address one thing from the Southwest Florida Tech coach. I know that he was in the news this week about his antics toward one of his players. But I know a lot of people had a lot of different mixed feelings about it. But as an athlete, as somebody who has been in that situation before, we don't know the ins and outs and the integral parts of the situation, so I can't really speak on that. But it is it is admirable to see a coach check himself without having to be pressured by the media or be pressured by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times when you see those situations, it is normally race fueled, and nobody normally backs the kid, right? But in this situation, you see the coach taking accountability of his actions and what he was saying. And I think that's definitely commendable. So shout out to that coach over there. And, I definitely hope that they can reconcile, work things out. Because, like I said, we don't know the details of that story. So maybe that kid needed that. There's a lot of kids that, will look at that and be like, damn, or a lot of people look at that and be like, damn, that's kind of harsh. But a lot of people don't understand that sometimes some things and some reactions in some ways, sometimes the way you talk to these young kids, these young men, is needed so that they can get out of their own head or get out of their own way or stop doing things that jeopardizing their future. So just wanted to speak on that a little bit.
I agree with that. Did y'all catch Undisputed when Michael Irvin was talking about the Monday night game and the reaction that Josh Allen was getting from Stephon Diggs and their head coach?
You mean the coddling that was going on?
So, okay, I'm gonna launch first. and I'm gonna let you guys rock out. I'm gonna let you guys rock out first. First of all, Michael Irvin's 100% wrong on this, in my opinion. Josh Allen played bad, and you have to acknowledge that he played bad. So if Stephon Diggs is telling him, you got to think, and you're saying, oh, he's telling the defense that his quarterback is stupid, in those moments, he was. He threw 3 very bad interceptions. Yeah. One of them he got away with because the dude caught it at the 2-yard line, so it was basically a punt. But you still don't make that throw. The other one, same situation, he just tossed it up he just threw it up. I don't even know what that was. And then the other one was just a clearly bad read on his part. Like, they lose that. The Bills lost that game because of him. It wasn't because of anybody else. They lost that. I don't care about the punt. The punt return never happens if he just plays football. This is that gunslinger mentality that I don't like as an offensive coordinator, because if you can't reel that, this is why Brian Daboll was so important to him. He doesn't make those plays if Brian Daboll is still there. Like, sometimes throwing the ball out of bounds is a good thing. It's a good thing. Save yourself.
Throw it away. Oh, my God.
But I'm going to let y'all guys launch on this. Y'all go do your thing.
So, if you haven't seen the clip, ladies and gentlemen, I already said it. But I'm going to say it again.
GQ ain't saying shit. GQ ain't saying a motherfucking thing.
Here we go. Sorry about that. So, Josh Allen, like I said, is the worst red zone quarterback in football. And then
I clipped it up. It's in the clips.
What's crazy is one of the few times that Nick Wright is actually right. He actually validated this by saying in the 5 years that Josh Allen has been a starting quarterback, he has 39 interceptions and fumbles. That leads the league by far.
Leave Baker Mayfield alone.
No. I said leads the league by far. That's all.
I know. I'm saying.
But
that was the insider for everybody for the Baker haters. It's okay.
Yeah, but you and Mel, you hit it. You can't throw a ball when your number one receiver is double covered.
It's
Because
impossible.
if you watch the film or if you were watching the game, you saw it. As soon as he reeled back to throw, the safety was in front of Stephon Diggs. All
He
he had
threw
to
the
do,
ball. Stephon Diggs turned into a corner.
yeah, all the safety had to do was play center field, and that's why he caught it. He
Yeah,
made his
this is
job
another
easy.
reason why. Short note. This is another reason why playing receiver is harder than playing cornerback. I just so everybody knows.
But
Continue.
on top of that, like
Yeah.
me and Mel was talking about this pre-show before we got on the air, and I stand by this. Had Aaron Rodgers not gotten hurt, the Bills get blown out.
Oh,
They
Like,
put up 40
Rodgers-
points.
Rodgers would have hung 40 on them without question. Because the only thing that went right for the Bills, surprisingly, was they actually had a consistent run game. That was the
Which
only
is
thing that went
crazy.
right.
The funny thing about it, I'm glad you. It is crazy. I wanted to get to that later, but watching the game, James Cook. I thought he had like 1,000 yards rushing. He only had like 46. It felt bigger watching the game. They couldn't stop him. For me watching the game, they couldn't stop him. But we're gonna get to that later.
It's just that simple. I called it, right? I said exactly what was going to happen. Josh Allen is. I'm going to come up with a new phrase. Josh Allen is going to Josh Allen, bro. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what he did. He went out. He threw hella picks. He got hit unnecessarily. Josh Allen. I don't under fucking.
I just couldn't find. I couldn't find the clip of that to show because he got hit once on a scramble, and I was like, even the announcers were like, "You got to slide in that."
Aggravating as hell, bro. And I'm not even a coach out there, bro. Oh my god, bro, go down. I don't even understand it. You're taking all these unnecessary hits, and then it's crazy because on the plays in which you can actually run because you have a lane to do so,
you don't do it.
You don't want to fucking do it. You want to throw a fucking Hail Mary bomb, and I don't even understand. It's like Brian Daboll left, and he's just like, bro, I fuck it. I don't even care about football anymore. This is the reason why I said Stephon Diggs, if he lasts past the trade deadline, I will be shocked. I promise you I'm going to be shocked because there's no way he's going to be putting up with this. He's going to be mad as hell. Like, I'm not going to do this, bro.
He'll be on the Patriots by week 10.
Like, he's not going to be able to do this because there's no fucking way people are going to be able to put up with this pure, unadulterated incompetence week after week, bro. If they lose to the Raiders this week,
and yet people still wanted to say that Stephon Diggs was crazy for acting the way he acted. Bro, this man went from the Minnesota Miracle to the AFC Championship to essentially getting knocked out in the second round. Like that shit will be front. Diggs ain't getting no younger.
No,
he's not.
This is why it's scary. Dallas may pull a trigger and bring his ass to Dallas.
Don't doubt that.
Well, now that you now especially now with the fact that you have Brandon Cooks with a sprained MCL, could trigger some things.
Yep.
That's gone. Yeah, that's been under the radar. Like they're not even talking about the fact that he has a sprained MCL.
No, and I want every Dallas Cowboy fan that was hollering at me about the Brandon Cooks, and I said Brandon Cooks is good when he's on the field. The problem with Brandon Cooks is he's never on the field.
That's true.
Just saying.
Michael Gallup time.
Right. So don't be surprised if Tony Pollard and some draft picks end up in Buffalo for Stephon Diggs.
I don't think I wouldn't trade Tony Pollard because I think
Deuce Vaughn is the future. Deuce Vaughn is the guy.
I like James Dalvin Cook though.
Yeah, I do think
James Dalvin Cook. Yeah.
But they've got a good trio of running backs between him and Damian Harris and those guys, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think if Gallup doesn't start to really show or really work his way into the offense, especially with Cooks out, he might be on the move too.
True. Last week we talked about the future of quarterback in the NFL. We did. We felt real confident that the future was now. And then week 1 happened, and Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, $950 million worth of quarterback play We got 1 touchdown.
Go ahead and throw Patrick Mahomes in there too. Don't leave him out.
Did we jump the gun, or it's just week 1? It is what it is.
I don't think we jumped the gun. I just think week 1 was just we looked at the schedule. We already said the first couple of weeks of the NFL season is just pretty chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't think, like, of all those quarterbacks, I would say Lamar of all of them is the one outlier for sure, because Lamar is learning a brand new offense. So he's going to have a couple more lumps and bumps than the others. And Joe Burrow.
I'm glad you made that point.
Yeah. Joe Burrow went 0-2 last year before they took off and did what they did. So, like, I'm not worried about Joe Burrow either.
Another good point.
So, I mean, I'm really not. I mean, even though Mahomes and company lost, Mahomes didn't play terrible. He didn't play his normal. He didn't play up to his standard. But
I'm gonna get
he still played better than the bottom of the NFL as far as quarterbacks go. But guys like Tua played really well. Justin Herbert played well. Obviously, Justin Fields was a dumpster fire, but we'll get to that when I get to my game analysis on that. Jordan Love looked pretty decent, given what he was asked for. Brock Purdy looked damn good for what he was asked for. Kenny Pickett looked like hot dog water.
Yeah, and I would say I would say Jalen Hurts. He's learning a new offense. This is not the offense he ran last year. So he has a bit of a learning curve. We saw last night. They leaned on that offensive line in the running game, and AJ Brown got a little upset about it because he wasn't getting looks and touches like he normally would. But this is a different offense. It's got a different strength. It's got a different feel to it. So we're going to see what happens with them. What do you say, Mo? What do you think?
As far as the game last night,
just the quarterbacks. We'll get to the game last night, but just
the game last night. The quarterbacks is, I'm not really hung up too much on it. It's week 1. Off season was hella weird with all the holdouts, and you had people going from team to team to team to team, and you got new quarterback here or new offensive system there, new coordinator here, new offensive there. So I'm not really too hung up on it. I would like to see an improvement going into week 2, like GQ said. Jordan Love did. I thought he did really well. I thought Jared Goff actually played really well as well. Kirk Cousins didn't play bad. Like, all these guys, they didn't really play bad. Like Lamar Jackson, he did play bad, but he's working with the new offense, so I do have to kind of give him a little leeway there. And they just got hit with another big injury bug in J.K. Dobbins, so hopefully he gets healthy soon.
ACL for him. Achilles on him too.
Achilles on him as well.
Not to mention, I'm throwing Joe Burrow and Deshaun Watson's game out the window because of the torrential downpour type of game they were playing in the first place.
Yeah,
no quarterback would have been successful in a game like that.
Yeah, raining. Like even Dak. I understand that Dak gets a lot of flack, but that same game, pouring down rain, bro. Like defense is doing their job. It's really not necessary. I will say that. During there is C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. They actually did not look bad, especially Bryce.
I don't think
I'm not gonna lie. Bryce looked good. C.J. Stroud.
CJ struggled, but he did make some really solid throws. I think the same problems kind of persist, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little later. Bryce, I thought, had a really strong showing. They got him in some really open spots to where he can kind of deliver the ball in a really safe environment. So I thought that was good. Like GQ said, Anthony Richardson played a really solid game as well. Justin Fields, of course, struggled, but I knew that was going to happen the first game. They're working with a new offense, a new head coach. So a lot of stuff is going to be new. Trying to implement new receivers. Like I said, I'm not really too hung up on it. But I would like to see improvement going into week 2, because that's when a lot of things are going to start to be set in stone. And if you can't get it together at that point in time, I don't know.
Gotcha.
So as far as
I got 2 more things I want to get to.
Go for it.
No. Go ahead. Next thing, because I'm gonna get to something different.
I was just gonna say we're gonna we should table the quarterback discussion until the first quarter of the season is over with.
Right.
And then we'll really get a better idea. My last point that I was gonna make on Anthony Richardson, I think of all the young quarterbacks that started, he was put in the best position to be successful because they simplified the offense. They gave him very simple completions. They said, listen, if the hole is there, run for it. They had a slow start in the first half, but in the second half. Him and Michael Pittman blew the fuck up. It was beautiful. So I think of all the young quarterbacks, I thought he was in the best position to be successful. And I also think that of all the quarterbacks in the worst positions, I think Desmond Ridder was put in the worst position because he has all the skill players he needs to be successful, and they're not even giving him a chance.
Look,
True.
he
You have
I
a guy
mean,
like Drake
he-
London, and he had one damn target. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Look,
that cannot
I'm
happen.
gonna blame it on Desmond Ridder or some of it because Kyle Pitts,
Topics.
he was open on a lot of plays where he dropped the cornerback and he's standing on the sidelines.
That is definitely true. I was going to
And-
say that about Desmond Ridder. He does look kind of timid when throwing the ball. Like you got to step up and release it. You in the big leagues now, my boy. You got to step up and throw that ball. If he doesn't look open, he's probably open.
NFL is totally different. We're gonna talk about the quarterback stuff at a later date because I got some stuff I want to talk about. I got two more things for our opening rant. I want to end with some spicy shit, but I'm gonna go here. Shannon Sharp and forgot the other dude's name was talking. They was talking on First Take.
Ocho Cinco or Stephen A.
No, it was neither. It was I can't remember the white dude's name. I can't think of it right now. But the question was, huh?
Oh,
Dan
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky. There you go. The question was, and I'm gonna get to this later when I do my breakdown of the Chargers and the Dolphins game. Who is more unstoppable? Patrick Mahomes or Tyreek Hill? I will give my 2 cents on this. If we're going to talk about who you can stop or slow down easier, it's the quarterback because the quarterback has to depend on some other. We saw what Patrick Mahomes looks like with very mid-wide receivers and no Travis Kelce.
He
didn't look like Patrick Mahomes.
He looks human.
Tyreek Hill is making Tua look like an all-pro quarterback.
He made Tua look like an MVP last year.
I mean, Tua is an all-pro quarterback when healthy, but okay.
He's only an all-pro quarterback if he's throwing to Tyreek Hill. Like we saw
or Jalen Waddle. Don't forget Jalen Waddle.
No, we saw him with just Jalen Waddle, and it wasn't good then.
Well, Tyreek Hill is different.
That was what you just said is my whole point. Is just because we can we seen what Patrick Mahomes looks like with Tyreek Hill. We've seen it. Imagine, and then we saw him last night without having any weapons. Imagine if Tyreek Hill had Justin Herbert as his quarterback and not Tua. Ignorant. It gets crazy. It starts getting real goofy out on the field. We love Tua. I like Tua, but he does not have the arm strength to really put Tyreek Hill in optimum position. Because if Justin Herbert leads Tyreek Hill on a fucking in route, you might as well just start walking to the sidelines. It's over. It's done. It's over. So I believe an elite wide receiver can make a mid quarterback look great.
Well, we've seen examples of that.
And there are only some examples of a elite quarterback making a mid wide receiver great.
I think the only example that we can actually really look back as far as an elite quarterback making mid receivers great is Tom Brady. Because
it's Tom Brady. That's
a whole bunch of fucking nobodies and made them literally somebodies. Like Mike Mitchell or whatever the fuck name Mitchell, Kevin Hogan. Like, who are these guys?
Right.
Who are these guys? You know what I'm saying?
Deion
Branch. Like, we don't know these guys until they got with Tom Brady, and you're like, holy shit, what the hell? But honestly, to answer the question, it's definitely Tyreek. I think it's easy to take away or to scheme against somebody's best player or quarterback's best player or his favorite target and take it and try to neutralize him out of the game, right? I.e. a Travis Kelce, or even to the extent in the Bears game, DJ Moore, right? They put freaking Jair Alexander on him, like, hey, that's you. Make sure this nigga don't get open. He don't catch no touchdowns. Oh, all right, bet. I got him. It's good. Say less. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can neutralize
but that's the thing. The quarterback is ass. So
right?
How good is DJ Moore going to be with an ass quarterback?
See? And in Mel's opinion, he feel like Justin Fields' ass. I feel like the jury's to be out, but we'll see. But I think it's easier to take away somebody's best weapon other than take away their damn legs, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I've guarded fast receivers, I've guarded speedy receivers. It's hard to take away that damn speed unless they're dealing with some type of nagging ass injury. Like, if they are healthy and they can run, lace up your Nikes, bro, because you're gonna be in for a long motherfucking day. And I hope you got some.
Somebody still gotta get him the ball, though.
That's true. Somebody still gotta get him the ball.
I can talk crazy about Kirk Cousins all I want,
though.
But Kirk Cousins is still gonna get the ball to Justin Jefferson.
That's true. But that doesn't mean that you stopping him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because the quarterback back there got noodle arm, that doesn't mean that he ain't open on every single play. Now, I get it. It does go hand in hand. But if I'm cooking, bro, every single play, like, all I need is somebody competent back there to throw to me.
But that's what I'm saying. But you could put Peyton Manning back there. You could put Tom Brady back there. But if he working with very not good wide receivers, if he's working with Chase Claypool and somebody, it's not going to work.
Speaking of him, what did I tell you about Chase? I told you about Chase Claypool. I don't think he wants
to be in Detroit.
What?
I mean, I don't think he wants to be in Chicago. I really don't.
He wants to play football, Mel. I don't think he
wants to be in Chicago.
Pictures. I think he wants to be a male model. I think he wants to take pictures. I don't think he wants to play football anymore, bro. Because
I don't know. Because that's not when he was in Pittsburgh. He wasn't playing like this in Pittsburgh.
But if you're quote unquote not wanting to be in Chicago, then what you should be doing is playing amazing, so that people see your value, so that somebody may actually trade for you. Don't play like ass or disappear off the face of the earth, because then everybody's just gonna forget about you.
He playing like ass. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
The man is
it's not even an exaggeration
right now. Like I'm
like playing like
bro,
ass.
What are you doing?
That man is literally like that old expired Little Debbie snack you find underneath your bed when you clean out your kid's room.
He is playing like a Dollar Tree brownie.
He is. Hey, Dollar Tree brownies are good, man.
No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the other ones. You know which ones I'm talking about. Them nasty ones. They said you got a microwave. Nah. Yeah, I'm talking about. No, I'm not talking about the good
Dollar Tree brownies, man. I fuck with them Dollar Tree brownies.
You know, Dollar Tree got the good brownies, and then they got the bad brownies. You feel me? Like, I'm talking about the bad brownies that you feel me that they got on display when you first walk in the store. You know, you got to go back to the back.
The old one. Yeah, I got you.
Come on now, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't like that.
No. All right. Now let's spice it up a little bit, because this is where we're gonna get a little dicey, a little spicy on this. Go throw some picantes in this. So the Bills owner, y'all put this in the chat. So I mean, in the group chat that we got.
Absolutely.
The Bills owner, give me the context, because you put it in there. Give me the context. I know what I got from it, and I know how I feel about it. But I'm gonna let you give the context, and then I'll jump in.
So the story is, the initial story was, we all remember a few months back when we actually did report on this as well. A reporter was basically asked Roger Goodell a question about diversity in the front office of the NFL. And a few months later, he had ended up to be fired. Now he is suing the NFL and Roger Goodell for said firement. And the Bills owner basically came out and said his comments towards that. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. I don't know if it's from frustration because his team and his quarterback isn't playing well, but it's just it's necessary. I don't even
go ahead and educate the people. Go and read that quote so they understand.
Just read the quote.
What's going on?
Read the quote.
Okay. And I quote, and this is what he says. He says, if the black players don't like it here, they should go back to Africa and see how bad it is. Bills owner, Terry Pagula, Allegedly in the Jim Charter lawsuit. Yes, the person who is suing the NFL and suing Roger Goodell is ex NFL reporter and NFL analyst Jim Trotter for asking a question to Roger Goodell about lack of diversity.
I'm gonna let y'all go because my stance on this is okay. I'll go first. Fuck that. We'll do it. Look,
kick it off.
I'm gonna kick it off. I told you it's gonna get crazy. Okay, this is what I'm saying. One, what he said, I agree with, but not in the context in which he's saying. I have this conversation a few times a year where what he meant, what he was saying was, if you think that it's so bad here, go over there. Meaning, America is one of the freest countries, if not the freest country in the world. Unfortunately, for people who keep saying they want to go back to Africa, Africans don't like y'all. They don't. You're an American to them. So, for people who don't travel, when I'm a Black American, yada, 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 or I'm Black, people outside of the U.S. only see you as an American. And how they feel about Americans, they're going to put you into that group. Africans don't call us African Americans. We're just Americans to them. So, going over to Africa is not going to be the great experience that you think is going to be initially. It's going to be pretty bad. Now, what he said was absolutely ridiculous and stupid, but I understand part of the context in which he was saying. Okay.
My intrusive thoughts is killing me right now. It's just interesting. Why do you bring up the players? Like, I don't understand the point of bringing up the players, bro. Like, if you want to sit up there and talk about the media, sure, definitely, right? Because that's what it's pertaining to. He's a media member. He's an ex-media member for the NFL. So if you're going to sit up here and bring up the players, like, I don't understand why we always catching strays, bro. All we going out there and doing is running full speed into other people that's running full speed at us. And then we got to catch the strays like, oh, go back to Africa. Damn, bro. All I was doing was out here catching the ball. And now I got to go back to Africa. What the fuck I do? Like, I'm trying to figure out what do we do? Like, your beef is with him, Mr. Trotter. Like, why? What the fuck I got to do about that shit? Like, you go take your beef up with him. If that's your really, and that's the thing. Like, if you really want to address this, right? If you really want to speak your real feelings about this shit, then go talk to Jim about the shit. Do an exclusive. I'm pretty sure he want to interview all you racist motherfuckers, bro. So go talk to him about the shit, bro. Why the players?
I don't think he's racist. I don't think he's racist.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably not.
He made a crazy ass comment. I don't think he's
racist.
Racist.
Talk to Jim about the dumb shit that you wanted to say instead of saying the dumb shit online, where everybody's gonna sit up there and take it out of context and misconstrue it to say like, damn, what the fuck? Hold on, what the fuck this nigga mean by that shit? Like, is he? Nah, well, maybe, I don't know, because all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just gives people the wrong idea, especially in this day and age now where everything and everybody is so goddamn sensitive that you can't say shit online or can't say shit in general. You can't even say shit in the privacy of your own goddamn home without it going viral and somebody having a fucking problem with it. So it's just the fact that you coming out and saying this, especially in the fact where there's a discrimination lawsuit, like, it's not even that. And honestly, this is the thing. I don't even think it's racist. It's just dumb as hell.
It's just stupid. That's all.
It's just dumb as hell for doing that. Like, what the hell? You could have went and talked to that man personally and be like, yeah, I don't even know what's going on, but I see you got my name in it, Jerry Jones' name in it, a few others' names in it. Like, you feel me? I give you an exclusive right now. Take my name out that shit. But no, you wanted to bring up this and then bring up the players, and it's like, damn, bro, what the fuck? Now you're giving people fuel to the fire. Now you're making people think like, damn, is he racist? Well, shit, he did have all this shit to say. Well, damn, I don't know now. You feel me? Like, now people don't know. So that's your fault. Stop saying dumb shit. People need to learn how to be quiet, bro. Oh my
God. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's insensitive is the word that we're all searching for here. So I'll fill that word in for us. Because he was talking out the side of his neck, but he didn't realize he said those magic trigger words, go back to Africa, if black this, and then you said the word if black, like bro, like again, like Moolah said, you ain't got to throw no unnecessary stray out there. That's not necessary. Like I ain't even do nothing. I was
Right.
just living my life. But at the same time, like as somebody who has traveled to Africa first and foremost, all of Africa ain't bad and poor. I'm telling you that right now. There are some extremely beautiful, lucrative parts of Africa.
No, Africa is a
So
beautiful place. But the thing, my point when I said what I said was, I know how they view us over here. They don't look at us like, oh, y'all family. No, they don't look at it. They're like, you American, stay over there.
Hey,
I'll say
over there.
I'll say that's like 40% true, just because of my interactions and going through the villages and some of the experiences I had. I had a lot of the opposite feeling where I was actually extremely welcomed over there and treated like family and treated, to sitting down with and eating family meals and dinners and stuff like that. Like, like I've kind of had some different, experiences with that.
Well, I got to go on the other side of Africa. I'm a little too light to be over there.
Well, I'm the right complexion of chocolate, so I just kind of get in where I fit in.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh,
I got to go over to Cape Verde and all that to fit in.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, Mel, chill out.
I'm just playing.
But at the end of the day, that's a conversation that should have just been had in private. Those comments should have just been kept to himself. Just because you thought it, don't mean you need to say it out loud. You could have just shut the hell up about it.
You're supposed to look. Sometimes your inside voice is supposed to stay inside.
Man, things are better left unsaid. Didn't your mama tell you that? Since people are talking about what their moms taught them, a lot of things is better left unsaid.
See how we do that? Yeah. See how we connect dots on this show unintentionally? This is what we do. This is why I keep trying to tell everybody we are the best football show on whatever, however you watching this, we're the best. Here.
That's what we do.
Just tell your brain to stop writing checks that your ass don't need the cash later.
Exactly. All right. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. We know why people are showing up. We watched the game on Monday night. We saw what happened. Aaron Rodgers, on the 5th play of the game, gets his Achilles torn, out for the season. In steps in Zachary the Great.
Zachariah White.
Zachariah White. I'm gonna give you a reason why I think this is actually a good thing for the Jets, and why I think this is possibly the best thing to happen for them in the present and in the future. We'll start with the present. The offense now can operate without no bullshit. When Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, a lot of things have to happen because Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. So you have to tailor and cater to him. This team can now play like the Baltimore Ravens did. We're going to beat you with our run game, special teams, and defense. As long as our quarterback can just manage the game. Game manager, we talked about last week, is not a curse word. It's not a bad thing. All he needs to do, and Breece Hall has shown us he's healthy. He's not 100%. He's about 75% because he shouldn't have got ran down on that 84-yard run that he got. That was bullshit.
Not. Yeah, he definitely should have ran down.
But you're coming back from an ACL tear. Totally get it. You don't got all your speed back. But he showed you last night he can be the lead dog, and Dalvin Cook can fill in spaces. If Breece ain't working that day, you got Dalvin Cook as the backup. So now that running game can be super effective, which means the play action game now becomes very prevalent, which is what Zach Wilson is good at. And if you are throwing to the weapon, the Lazards and the Garrett Wilsons and all of that off of play action, that works pretty well for you. You know what I'm saying? So the offense can live with a I don't want to call it an old school mentality, but we can run the ball, control the clock, and my defense is good enough to stop you when I need stops. And if I need to, my special teams can get me in position to put the offense in great field position so we don't have to have long drives. We can have a 55-yard drive to get a field goal or a touchdown. We can have great position when it's time to go. So this is why I think, and I'll go to the future. That's why I think for the present, it'll work. In the future, this is what happens. Aaron Rodgers is still on the sidelines. He's still going to have the headsets on. He's still going to be able to talk to Zach Wilson. Look, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I see. This is what I would do if I was you on the field right now. Aaron Rodgers becomes another coach on the sidelines to help Zach Wilson out. And I said this before. I said, I don't think the Jets win the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I think what happens is if Zach Wilson absorbs all the information from Aaron Rodgers, the guy to take this Jet team to the Super Bowl is Zach Wilson. We're going to see if I'm right. We're going to see. But I think this is actually a good thing. There's no pressure on that team now. All the pressure is gone. When Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, there was, oh, we got to go to the Super Bowl. You got to beat this team. Let's see what happens when Aaron Rodgers has to play Mahomes in the playoffs or Josh Allen in the playoffs. Oh, that's gone. It's over. They could just go play football now. And I think when the team can just play football with that defense and no skill position players, you can make something special happen.
I just think the game plan goes back to what it was, bro. I mean, you don't have to change the offense anymore, right? Like you don't have to make sure that the offense is going to be comfortable for, your veteran quarterback, right? Like you go back to the original plan, developing your young quarterback, bro. You brought him some weapons. You brought him a good running game. He has a great defense. We see that already. So just keep the recipe as what it is, right? Like I get it, right? Like I understand why this can be viewed as a bad thing, right? It's Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl winning quarterback, MVP, right? Like I get it, right? And he's supposed to come in and have this resurgent season with the Jets and all this stuff like that, right? I get it, right? A whole bunch of flowers and a whole bunch of bells and whistles. But at the end of the day, why? You have a solid young quarterback in your back pocket right now, in which you can develop, right? And you have some really good running backs to where you compare him with. You have a great young receiver who just won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. That's with him now. Like, just let it run its course, bro. Let it run its course.
Let it work.
Just like you said, there's no expectations. There's no high hopes. There's none of that. Now you guys just go out there and play week to week to week to week to week. Just play to win. Just playing you gotta beat this team because we gotta beat this team so we can go to nah. Now you guys can just play to win. Now Zach can go out there and properly take his lumps as a true quarterback and develop as an NFL quarterback. He's gonna go out there and get his L's. He's gonna go out there and get his W's. He's gonna throw his picks. He's gonna throw his touchdowns. He's gonna have his high games, his bad games, but that is how he's gonna learn what it takes to be a true NFL quarterback in this league. So that next year, right?
It's time to go.
It's time to ride. It's time to ride. Aaron might fuck around and retire at the end of the season, right? So if you're going to put all your apples in that basket, what you really bank on? Because
like this, Aaron Rodgers, he tore his Achilles. There is no saying there is no sure bet he's going to be ready by the beginning of next season.
He's not no spring chicken. For everybody who thinks that that's just an easy, I understand, right? I get it. Trust me, I get it, right? I got Kobe sitting right here, and I got his symbol on my his symbol tattooed on my neck. I understand, right? Everybody thinks that motherfuckers can just pop their Achilles and come back and do what Kobe did and have a solid. No, that is one of the hardest injuries, if not the hardest injury to come back from, especially for a man that age. I'm sorry. So if he contemplates retirement or if he fucks around and retires at the end of this season, don't be surprised. You might want to have your boy Zach ready because it might happen.
GQ just came back. He had to get his GED, so he dropped out. He came back.
Go shopping real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because he is Mr. GQ. He had to stay GQ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, traveling, going through these dead spots is always fun, but My feelings on Zach Wilson are still the same. I still think he's an absolute ass. I don't like him. I just don't. I don't like him.
Disrespectful.
He rubbed me the wrong way when he took zero accountability last year for his own fuck ups and tried to blame everybody else but himself. And I don't want that from my quarterback. But I'll be positive about this. I don't think he looked bad in that, I got automatically thrust into this game after my, the guy who's been mentoring me, lost his Achilles. He played fine. He wasn't prepared to play in that game. The game plan wasn't designed for him to do what he needed to do, but it got better as the game progressed. I think he's just good enough of a quarterback if he relies on that run game and defense to keep the Jets afloat.
Yeah, and that's what I expect to happen. I expect for them to be like, look, we got two very good running backs. Very good. We're going to run the ball 30 times a game. We're probably going to pass it 15 to 20 times. But in those 15 to 20 times, I need you to make the right choices most of the time. Allow us to control the clock. Yeah. Allow us to control the clock. Allow the special teams to put us in good position. And the defense to make the stops that we need to when we need it. And we'll win games. That's it. You shouldn't be asking at this point in time Zach Wilson to go out and throw the ball 30, 40 times. That's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. That's not his role. His role should be able to let the running game and the defense be the focal point of this team. And we go from there. I am just here not to fuck it up.
Yep.
Honestly.
And stop holding on to the damn ball so long. That's still Zach Wilson's biggest problem. He holds on to the damn ball too much. Like, either throw it away, take off running, or let that thing go.
Yeah, I think he'll be better at that. Like I said, everybody here has to understand. I'm saying not you. I'm just talking about people in general. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the fourth play of the game. Zach Wilson had no fucking plans of seeing the field at all Monday night.
My man barely lasted the series, man. That's fucked up.
Hey, listen, it don't even matter. He's been in the league longer than a year, so the progressions of a basic NFL quarterback is not holding on to the ball for too damn long. Go through your reads. If the read ain't there, take off running and throw the ball away. That's basic quarterbacking 101.
It's basic quarterback when you can when you have the ability. The reason why Aaron Rodgers' Achilles was hanging off his fucking heel was because
not hanging off.
He didn't have the time to fucking do it. Like he tried to look through the read. I'm sorry,
Yes, but we've seen this before because Joe Burrow did the same thing with a trash offensive line when I went to the Super Bowl. Why? Because Zach Taylor schemed his receivers to get open quicker.
Right, but that's the offensive coordinator's responsibility to do so.
And the quarterback's job to make some things happen.
And the reason why they had to do that was because Joe Burrow was doing the same dumb shit, and that's how he got his ACL torn by Chase Young. It's just like, look, quarterbacks. The problem with a quarterback is they know 1, 2, 3, get rid of it, but they also understand. Let me get one more second to let this dude get open, but that one more second can either lead to glory or your demise. And in most cases, it's demise. But it is what it is.
But did you see the backlash from that game? And now that they're talking about changing all NFL fields to grass.
Because
we're back on this turf conversation again.
It's not about the turf.
We are.
If you look at his foot, bro, even if he was in grass, it wouldn't have saved it.
Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong. Like you're not wrong. It's just, but the fact that this we keep having the conversation about, turf versus grass over and over again.
You have to look. At the end of the day, this is what it is. Grass has its advantages and disadvantages. This grass turf has its advantages and disadvantages. It comes with the territory. It's never going to be perfect. Never. But you know what's never going to be perfect? And this is where I'm gonna go with this. If I see one more comment of somebody asking where's Colin Kaepernick? I'm gonna fucking strangle you through the room. I'm gonna do it. I swear to God, I am going to strangle you through an app. Colin Kaepernick
was
sucks.
call Cam.
Why? Why?
Cam.
For what?
Fuck everybody else. Call
For what?
Cameron Newton right now.
Oh, you talking about? I'm talking about Kaepernick.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. No, fuck that. No, fuck that. I don't care about Cam no more, bro. He had a chance, bro. Call Cam.
No, if you're gonna call anybody, okay. If you're gonna call anybody, you call Cam.
You call Cam. Somebody
Shady McCoy. I don't fuck with Shady McCoy like that. But he brought up one thing that if I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I would do that. He said you give Zach Wilson the ball, and if he doesn't pan out, he would make the call to Atlanta to bring in Taylor Heineke. I like that. I like that.
No, not yet.
I'm not mad at that.
I like that a lot. If I was, my second thought would be this. If I'm the Jets, stop looking for people that are not playing right now. Would you make the call to Dallas for Trey Lance?
Absolutely. Right now, too.
I mean,
I would do it right now.
I would do it. Like
right now.
I would do it. Like because that's only if Zach Wilson doesn't look like he's going to be able. I think Zach Wilson will be able to hold it together and he will progress and be a very good quarterback. But this is for the people that don't believe in Zach Wilson, like GQ.
Yeah, but look, the reason you don't bring in an outside quarterback because Aaron Rodgers is still your 1A. He's still your number one guy. So I don't want to bring in somebody that I'm essentially going to either cut next season or do what with. Because as it currently stands, Aaron Rodgers is still your quote unquote franchise quarterback. So why would I want to bring in a guy like Cam or bring in a guy like, I'm not bringing in Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a project. He needs to sit his ass down for another 2 years.
But think about this is why.
But if you're going to swing for the fences, go get Kirk. If you're going to swing for the fence, go get Kirk Cousins.
No, but this is why the reason why I would say the reason why you would bring in Cam, you only bring in Cam in on a 1-year deal. So Cam will be going next year regardless. If you bring in a Trey Lance, regardless, like if Trey Lance does good or bad, he can still sit behind and learn from Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Taylor Heineke, same thing. He can revert to being the backup when Aaron Rodgers comes back.
I mean, Taylor Heineke gonna ball.
He's gonna ball. I think my opinion on Taylor Heineke is completely different than most people's. I think he's a legitimate starter in the league. But
Jumpman Heineke, man, stop playing with that boy.
He should be starting in Atlanta right now because Desmond.
Jumpman Heineke, stop playing with him. Call him Jumpman.
Right.
Every
so
time
I think
he gets some new jumps. Like the boy.
Right. Like I can name a couple teams he could be the starting quarterback on right now, but
the Raiders. I'm just playing.
Don't look. I had to do a whole that Raiders video I did is because of my brother. My brother he's a 49er fan. He loves Jimmy G. And I had that. The only reason why I put that music on that video is because of my brother. So JC, if you're watching, you already know. You know. So let's get to we got these breakdowns we got to get to. So my game was the Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. So I'm gonna get to this real quick. Mine's gonna be real easy because it wasn't that much to really break down in this game. It was a whole lot of Tyreek Hill and fuck everybody else. But I noticed something. I was watching the game and my offensive coordinator brain started working. I'm looking at the tight end Smith. I think that's his name, Smythe, whatever his name is. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill.
Darren Smythe. Yeah.
Smythe. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill. I'm looking at fucking Waddle, and I'm looking at Mostert, and I'm like, this looks very familiar to me. And then it hit me. They stole the Kansas City Chiefs swag. A lot of the things that made the Kansas City Chiefs dangerous when Tyreek Hill was there, they brought it to Miami. Smythe, if you watch the game, he looked like Travis Kelce. All of the drag routes, the delay routes, finding himself in the middle of the field, that was Travis Kelce. Then you look at Jalen Waddle, all of the drag routes that he was running, how he was clearing out, it looked like Mecole Hardman when he was in Kansas City. And then you just add Tyreek Hill. And a lot of the open spaces that they were creating with the over routes, with the crossing routes, with all of these things that was happening, I was like, this is very Kansas City-like. Only difference is that's not Patrick Mahomes back there. That's Tua. So it's going to be a little different because Tua was throwing on rhythm most of the time, where he would get back instead of the ball being released, 20, 30 yards downfield a lot of it was intermediate to short range and allowing guys to run after the catch. And that's when it gets real dangerous when you got a Waddle, when you got a Tyreek Hill. Even Smythe, when he was run, he's like after the catch, he's pretty dangerous. And then you throw, and then you throw the running game with Raheem Mostert into the mix. The offense looks real. The offense looks good. It looks good. But like my man Mullage over here, Mullage said, the Chargers are going to charge her. And this is what happened. And this wasn't a Justin Herbert thing. The offense looked fucking great. That offense looked the part. They gonna fuck a couple defenses up. Their problem was their defense. J.C. Jackson made some retarded fucking plays that probably cost them some field position and maybe points. He got an interception in the end zone and decided he was going to run it out. He only got to the 7-yard line. 2 plays later, Justin Herbert almost got sacked in the end zone. Like, if you just take the knee in the end zone, they get the ball at 20, they can start their offense doing whatever it is they need to do. What was the other play? He did, and I forgot what the second play was, and I wrote it down, and I can't find it. But the second play, he did something stupid. All I wrote down was like J.C. Jackson did 2 dumbass plays. And then the offensive line all game long was doing a very good job in protecting Herbert, allowing him to stand in the pocket, stand strong, get the ball downfield. Keenan Allen is a problem. That's all I'm going to say. But they waited to the last drive of the game to not protect Justin Herbert. Like, they blitzed him the last 2 plays or 3 plays on that drive, and it was just an all-out siege in the backfield. If they're going to get better, if they're going to, win games, one, offensive line, y'all need to play consistently throughout the game. And that defense, y'all need to play better. A dude can't put up 34, 35 points a game and then he lose these games. That just sucks. And I get it, what the Kansas City Chiefs were doing on offense, it looked like Canadian football combined with Arena League, because trying to stop Tyreek Hill with a 3-yard head start is insane. You can't do it. I don't care who the cornerback is. But you got to figure it out at some point. You got to slow it down at some point. But, that's my analysis on this game, is that the offense for the Chargers looks the part. And if this is the Miami Dolphin offense we're going to get all year, it might get ugly for the rest of the league. And if that defense starts to show up, There you go. That's my brother right there. I told y'all where he at. That's my brother. That motherfucker right
What's
there.
up, brother?
John.
Yerp.
So that's, if that's the offense we're going to get, and the defense I think is only going to get better for Miami, it's going to be crazy. Yep. Look, just said that. Just said it. Like, it's going to get crazy for the rest of the league. If that's the Miami team that we're going to look at, it's going to get nuts. And I know I said Devontae Adams was going to break Megatron's record. If Tyreek Hill is going to do this every week, he's going to obliterate 2,000. But
not to mention, they still didn't have Jalen Ramsey back yet. They don't get him
that's
back
what I mean.
December.
When Ram comes back, yeah.
I really hope he does. I really hope he destroys that record too. I'm not even gonna lie. I got all the faith in Tyreek right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make mine short and sweet. Okay, straight up. Few things. I had a few points that I had written down, just a few key points. Number one, Kenny Pickett and George Pickens need to get their connection together. I don't know if the offensive coordinator needs to draw up something specifically for them, but they need to get their connection together. It's proven that when George Pickens is the focal point of the offense and he gets majority of the targets, their offense, it flows more. It's a lot more efficient. It just looks a lot better. It's a lot more explosive. George Pickens needs to be the focal point of the offense. I get that Najee Harris is a running back and you got a young guy in the Warren kid, but fuck all that, bro. At the end of the day, you have to get your star the ball, and George Pickens is the star of that offense. I understand that Deontay's out now. That should be more of incentive to get your boy George the ball, because at the end of the day, Kenny throws a nice ball. He's not inaccurate. He does have a pretty solid arm. He is mobile, so he can move. You don't have to sit there and hold and stay into the pocket for so goddamn long. Just get you and your star receivers connection going. Get that running game established. Your defense is fine, honestly. The reason why the game looked like how it looked is because the offense didn't score any goddamn points. That's the real reason why.
That game got out of control very fast.
The defense is on the field for too damn long, so of course it's going to look lopsided as shit. But if you actually watched the game and really looked at it, the defense played a solid game. TJ Watt had 3 sacks. 3 sacks and a forced fumble with a fumble recovery and 2 TFLs. So that defense actually played very, very well. It's just the offense didn't score enough points to the point where they needed to get they could get anything going to make it look competitive. Mike Tomlin already came out and said himself he coached a horrible game. Offensive coordinator coached a horrible game. The defense looked okay, pretty solid. But at the end of the day, that offense has to get it together if they want to be competitive, not only in the league as a whole, but their competitive division, because that division is going to get really that's the best division. That's the best division in football right now. It's going to get dicey, especially around week 10, week 11, week 12, when we know there are going to be playoff implications on the line. You guys have to get that offense together. You got 2 solid young running backs in the backfield. You have a pretty solid offensive line that can give you guys enough time to work with these young receivers. You have an Allen Robinson who was more the focal point than George Pickens. He's a big target in the red zone. Use him. Like, they have weapons, they have pieces that they need to utilize, and they just didn't use it. They didn't use it. I thought that them, along with the Bears, that I know GQ is about to get into in a second, I thought that their offenses were very timid. They were too passive. I didn't think they were aggressive enough. Take shots down the field. Take your shots when they have them. Kenny Pickett, use your feet, use your eyes. I think that they just need to be more innovative with their offenses, innovative with their players. Put some people in some different places, put some people in some different positions, and I think they're going to be solid. Defensive-wise, I do think that they need to not try to cash checks that, people can't necessarily cash, because Patrick Peterson was talking greasy and was out there getting did by
Brandon Ayuk was taking him to work.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk was out there looking like baby Megatron, okay? And a lot of people know how I keep
trying to tell people, look, the best wide receiver on the 49ers is not Deebo Samuels.
It's not. It's not even remotely Deebo Samuel, honestly. And if you think so,
it is Brandon Ayuk, and it's not even close. I don't care what nobody says.
But as far as the Niners side, they did play a really solid game. Brock Purdy looked really good in his first outing, coming back from the injury, so that is a plus side for them. Christian McCaffrey, of course, the offenses ran through him, so I had no surprises there. The Brandon Ayuk did surprise me a lot. He looks a lot better. Routes look cleaner.
He's been training with Jerry Rice for 2 years. This is what happens.
Routes look cleaner, footwork looks a lot better, hands look just look amazing, just stout, and he's putting on that showcase to point where he wants to be respected in this league. So I think that they did look really, really well. I think their main problem still persists, the offensive line. And they need to kind of get that together before they really try to make that push as far as thinking that they're a playoff team or a Super Bowl contending team, because they're going to see the Eagles again, they're going to see the Cowboys, and if your offensive line isn't compared or isn't ready for those two D lines, it's really not going to be close. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, they fucked up in one aspect, right? One aspect and one aspect alone. They did not take advantage of bad eyes from the Niners safeties, right? The Niners safeties are consistently eye violating. Their corners are very, very well, and their front seven is very good, but their safeties are constantly eye violating, and you have to take advantage.
49ers safeties are known for that. Ronnie Lott was one of my favorite safeties of all time. But if you hit Ronnie Lott with a play action,
or a pump, oh my God, it's touchdown. I promise you. It's touchdown every single time too. It's 6. So I do think that they need to utilize that. I do think Kenny Pickett needs to learn how to use his eyes and move the safety with his eyes first instead of moving in with the shoulders or with the pump, so that he can get more open looks. But overall, I did think that the game wasn't as bad as it looked on the scoreboard. If you actually watched it, it just looked bad. But yeah, that's all for me.
GQ.
All right, so of course my homework was very simple. I had, of course, that fantastic game between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Of course, that's pure sarcasm. That game was not fantastic. That game was one-sided. But
I got nothing but love for you.
Yeah, first impressions of that game is exactly what me and Mel have been talking about all offseason, and Jordan Love looked just fine. He didn't have to do anything complicated. It was very simple. They gave him a simple game plan. And he didn't have his number one receiver, and he still looked good. Because we know Romeo Dobbs got a very inconsistent hamstring. So I'm glad it held up for this game. Let me get to the Bears. The Bears are the key to this game. And they've got to take the training wheels off of Justin Fields.
They did.
No, they did not, because they didn't. You could tell by the game plan.
No, they did not.
They did not.
Well, maybe he just, I don't know. You know how I feel about Justin Fields.
Yeah, no, they need to, they could have they should have let him let loose. You got a 1,000-yard receiver in DJ Moore on your roster. You got to let the ball loose. Your running game didn't do you any favors though, because Khalil Herbert didn't look all that good in the first place. But hopefully that gets better as the season goes on. But they've got to let Justin Fields let loose. They have to, not just with his legs. He can throw the ball. He's got capable receivers. He can throw it. So know where it's going. They can run a very simplified offense similar to what San Francisco runs. He's got very good yards after catch guys. Just get the ball out to your playmakers and let them do their thing. We saw it in the preseason, and it worked extremely well. I think it can still translate into the regular season as well, but they've got to let it happen. The Bears should be scoring at least 20 points a game. They should be at least scoring 20 points a game. They should.
You think so?
That's the reason why I said they're passive. GQ's right. They gotta let him fly, bro. At the end of the day, I get it, right? He's a project quarterback. He comes from Ohio State, so a lot of people don't really trust him. I understand that point, but you gotta let him grow. You gotta let him get his licks. You gotta let him, throw his interceptions. You gotta let him essentially grow as a quarterback. Like I said for Zach Wilson, bro, you have to let him grow. You have to let him fly. You have to let him loose and let him actually get acclimated into an offense. And
exactly.
Honestly, that's not even a bad statement.
No, but that comment that was just on the screen, he's 100% right. If you put Justin Fields in the right system, it's a different story. And it's not, because I do not think Justin Fields is a bad NFL quarterback. I really don't. I do. I don't. I truly don't. I think he's better than Zach Wilson. I'll tell you that shit right now.
I think he's better than Zach Wilson too.
I do think if you put him in the right, I'm telling you, if you give the Rams Justin Fields, give Sean McVay Justin Fields and watch what the fuck happens. I guarantee you something magical will happen. I guarantee it.
I would stake the rest of the money I'm going to make this year in 2023. Give Sean McVay a guy like Justin Fields and watch what the fuck happens. I'm not telling you they'll win a Super Bowl, but Justin Fields will be a lot better of a quarterback because
he's just going to throw the ball into the stands wearing blue and yellow instead of black and orange.
No, he's going to be an efficient quarterback because he's going to have a coach who can do his job and be competent and take advantage of the skill set that he has, which is more than just his legs. He can get the ball out. He has good accuracy. He's not a big-time turnover-prone quarterback. He's just not with the right coaching staff to put it together for him.
I don't think he has the right offensive mind around him. Like I said, I think they're really passive. And like GQ said, they have to let him loose. They have to actually let him throw the ball. Every single pass play that they had, I think only 5, maybe 6 were down the field, and one of them wasn't even to DJ Moore, bro. One of them was to Darnell Mooney. Out of all people, you have your best receiver not even going down the field majority of the time. What you have a Darnell Mooney and a Chase Claypool going down the field at the majority of the time, where that cannot happen. You have to get your best receivers in space or put them in at least give them opportunity to make said plays for you. You can't just sit up there and do crossers and in cutting routes and expect everybody to sit up there and be like, oh, well, shit, I wonder what they're going to do now. They literally sat in cover 2 majority of the game and dared him to throw over the top. And they're like, yeah, no, let's not do it. We're going to sit here and throw underneath. Well,
that's a quarterback, if a defense will tell you what they think about your quarterback based off the coverage that they run. If they were sitting in cover 2, they were daring him. If you're going to complete a pass, it's either going to be to the boundaries, in between my corners and my safeties, or down the middle of the field. And they did not believe he was capable of doing that.
So at the same time, if you're the coach and you see they're in a cover 2, then guess what? Flip the script, run an RPO, make that defense more honest. But the fact that you couldn't establish the run game because you don't have the running backs to do so, the game became a one-dimensional game.
But that's what the cover 2 is built for. The cover 2 is built to stop the run.
Well,
that's what
they didn't have a capable running back that was a threat in the first place. Because Khalil Herbert is very similar to how we were talking about. Which running back we talking about earlier? Like a guy like Tony Pollard and a guy like these smaller running backs who can't bang. They don't have a guy who's a threat. Like, oh, it's just him in the backfield. We ain't worried about him. Like, you're not running a cover 2 against the 49ers because you know Christian McCaffrey will bust your ass between tackles and on the outside. Like, you're not doing that against the Patriots because Ramondre Stevenson or Zeke gonna bust your ass because they're bigger guys who can do that.
Yep.
Like they don't have the necessary running back because now they've got the receivers and they've got the tight end. I think Cole Kmet's a good tight end. I think he can be solid. They have the other skilled players in position. They don't have the running back in position to finalize the offense that they need to run for Justin Fields to continue to be successful. Because not all teams have those, we'll call them tier 1 quarterbacks. But I think Justin Fields is a capable quarterback.
But the thing about it is, what did Mullins just do here?
He did a weird Houdini trick.
Yeah, he did. But still,
I had to pull it real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Even with all of that, you still have to work what you're given. So if I can get to the seams and I can get to the edge and I can get to the corners in between, I get to the blind spots in between the corners and the safeties, my quarterback's still going to make those throws.
That's true, but you have to call those plays. Like, they weren't calling none of those plays, bro.
But you got to understand, when they're calling the drag routes and the over routes, what they're doing, those are zone busters. So what you're doing is you're allowing your Z to go from right to left, and you're looking for pockets. And the same thing with your X. You're looking for pockets as you're dragging them across. And when the tight end is hitting a seam or running a corner route, you're just creating space. You're creating space. Now, your quarterback has to understand when my X is clearing the outside linebacker or the middle linebacker, depending on what defense they're running, there's going to be a window. I got to put the ball in that window. I don't think Justin Fields is in that space mind-wise where he recognizes I'm throwing to spots. I'm not throwing to wide receivers.
And that's fine.
And I don't know.
At the same time,
I don't know if that's a coaching thing or a comfortability thing with him.
I think it's a little bit of both,
thing, bro.
Like, but you
think
still,
it might be
as
a coach.
an
Well,
offensive play caller, you have to scheme for the quarterback you have. So if
not to mention you have to scheme
cool.
for your receiver to be open.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, they're going to run a cover 2. So maybe I take a guy like DJ Moore and I move him around the formation. I make this cover 2 alter a little bit. I make them move around. We see it all the time. When you've got the necessary skill players in position, you move them around. I think if you start moving Khalil Herbert into the slot, maybe even line up on the same side as DJ Moore, now that cover 2 has to adjust because they're like, wait a minute. We might be able to stop the run, but what if they do get the ball to Khalil Herbert in the middle of the field? He is good in space. He's just not good between the tackles. So now if I've got him and DJ Moore on the same side, and now I've got, Chase Claypool doing his thing on the backside, or possibly Cole Kmet doing his thing on the backside, or like you said already, Mel, if I've got Cole Kmet on the outside running that seam, possibly running off that linebacker and or that safety, and I put Khalil Herbert on a simple curl in the middle of that spot right there, now I'm opening and I'm scheming things. But his offensive coordinator is not doing that. Justin Fields is not the quarterback that's controlling the offense like our Aaron Rodgers. He can't sit there and be like, all right, I want to run this play. He's not there yet. He's still learning. So his offensive play caller has got to be able to scheme those types of plays for him as he continues to progress and get better as a quarterback. No different than if you had a Zach Wilson or a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud. These guys aren't there yet. You have to scheme it until they continue to see it. You'll see the cover 2 a million times across your career. But until you get comfortable with, they're in a cover 2. These schemes typically work. Hey, coach, you see what I'm seeing? Can we run X, Y, Z? He's not there yet because Justin Fields also keeps changing to where they haven't run a consistent offense yet. They have not had continuity at offense yet. So he's going through some of them struggles we talked about earlier in the show as well. So once that happens and he gets continuity, I still think you'll continue to see growth from him.
Right. I mean, like I said, my biggest thing with Justin Fields, it's really not a Justin Fields. What is a Justin Fields thing? Ohio State quarterbacks don't translate.
There you go.
Just don't translate to the pros. They just don't. So until one of them does it, it is what it is.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Give him a chance to break the mold. Because you know what? Here's the beauty of what you said, right? If he breaks the mold, right, and he does break the Ohio State mold, you know what else he becomes? He becomes one of the better quarterbacks in the history of the fucking Bears. They don't even have a 5,000-yard passer on their fucking record books yet. So you've got a guy who could
until he does the Super Bowl shuffle, Jim McMahon will always be the greatest Bears quarterback.
We are not talking about the Bears going to the Super Bowl. We are not going down that conversation whatsoever. They're not even the best team in the division.
Absolutely not.
There's time for that, but it ain't right now.
Yeah, he got time. He got time.
I just feel like you have to put your quarterback in good positions, and
100%. 100%. But there has to be a point where your quarterback, if he's going to be your guy, he's got to get to that point where he puts the team in that good situation, opposed to having someone else having to do it for him. And
but he hasn't had continuity to do that yet.
Yeah, he's not quite there to the point where he can make the plays like a Patrick Mahomes could, or like these young, like a Joe Burrow or like a Justin Herbert. Like he's not them. You know what I'm saying? He's an athletic quarterback with a really solid arm and with shaky accuracy. Now, if you tighten that up and scheme it right and put receivers in perfect spots to the point where now he doesn't really have to think about it. He can just put the ball in places where he knows his receivers can work. Then that's simplifying it to the point where now he doesn't have to do as much, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't do that on Sunday for him. They're sitting there running, literally they're running levels into cover 2. I seen that. Which is like the
worst play to run. That's like the worst play to run into cover 2.
Thank you.
Because you're running.
It's really not though.
It is when you have. It is the way they ran
directly
it.
Into the coverage.
I'm gonna tell you what they
ran it. Yeah, it wasn't. If they ran it the way the Colts used to run it with Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, it's different. The way the Colts and Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning ran levels was phenomenal against cover 2. The way the Bears ran it, their routes were too shallow. So those routes were set up to where it was easy pick sixes. because if the linebacker didn't have to do nothing but sit in that spot, the safety just had to sit there and read, and the corner just had to shuffle to the left and come inside, and they covered those receivers up quickly. That is why Justin Fields has no throwing lanes.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get the film. I'm gonna break it down, because if you're gonna run a levels, the point of the levels in a cover 2 is you're making the short guy, that the flat guy, he has to choose. Either you're gonna drift, or you're gonna play short. Because if you play short, you go over the top of him. If he drifts back, you go underneath him. So I have to I have to look at what their levels were and see where it was. Because you said they were all running shallows. If they were all running shallows, then that's fucking stupid. But
yeah, look at it. They ran it in the second quarter. They ran most of this in the second quarter, and in halfway through the third, they were doing the same thing.
Halfway through the third, they're doing the same exact thing. It wasn't until the fourth quarter, with like 7 to 8 minutes left, that's when they started to attack the boundaries, and they started to attack the seams a little bit with commit.
Yeah, like they were giving Justin Fields the middle of the field, and that was essentially it. But he also didn't have time because the protection kept breaking down because his offensive line is also trash. So there's that part of the equation as well. But that's a lot of teams right now currently in NFL, bad offensive lines.
Right. And my assessment on Justin Fields before we move on is this. Justin Fields is a football player playing quarterback, not a quarterback playing football. And they have to figure out a way to switch that around. Where he's extremely talented. I'm not what I mean by that is he's not. I was a football player. I was never designated a position because I could go wherever it was called upon. Whether I played receiver, whether tight end, running back, quarterback, defense, I could play corner, I could play safety, I could play outside linebacker, I could play inside. I was a football player. I was a plug and play guy. The problem with Justin Fields is they're not teaching him the quarterback position. They're just allowing him and his talent to do what it does.
Yeah. So it's a lot of it continuing to slow his growth. Like young quarterbacks, like not all of these young electric quarterbacks in college are pro ready. They're ready to go pro, but they're not pro ready.
Right.
See how we keep using these fancy metaphors today. We're gonna keep educating you guys today. A guy like Justin Fields needed to come into the league and he needed to be mentored accordingly. He had the raw tools. He just needed somebody to show him how to use the tools in the toolbox to be a successful NFL quarterback. I 100% do think that Justin Fields can be a successful NFL quarterback. I think he can be an upper part of the league type of quarterback. I'm saying 15 and above, not 15 and below, or 16 and below. I do think he could be in that realm. I believe that. But he does need the right mentorship and coaching. That's just what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a raw athlete that needs extra coaching. Because Lamar Jackson was the same way. Lamar came into the league as an explosive athlete, but he needed some refining on his quarterback. There's a word for it. His quarterback, like his mental part of the quarterback game. Like he's like, all right, cool. His first instinct was a run. But
he has to think like a quarterback.
Yes, he needed to tighten their quarterback acumen. There we go. Sorry, that's what I was looking for. He needed to tighten up his quarterback acumen. His athleticism was there. He's like, hey, I'm faster than everybody that I'm on the field with. I'll be able to get out of trouble, no problem. And he did that. His first 2 years, most electric guy on the field since Michael Vick. But we needed to see what we saw from Lamar the last 2 years, which is a lot sharper of a quarterback acumen where I'm like, you know what? Hey, Mark Andrews, you on that scene? Let me throw that thing real quick. Oh, he's wide open. Now Lamar's got weapons and the tight end. And now you've seen Lamar even last year, start to do things that you're like, all right, we can see the growth. Justin Fields is in the same boat. He's got to turn from an athlete to a quarterback. His quarterback acumen has got to get tightened up.
And this is the difference. Yep. We come back to it. Like I said, we always come full circle. This is why I said Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. Is because what the decisions he makes while playing quarterback is always the right decision. And when he's back there, he's not putting the team in a bad situation. He doesn't rely on – he's not super athletic. He's nowhere near a Justin Fields or a Lamar or anything like that. He's more Deshaun Watson, where if you need me to get out of there, I can get out of there. But I'm only going to use that as an accessory to what I can do. But I'm going to beat you with my mind. I'm going to beat you with my arm.
Yeah, he's a tweener. He's your Deshaun Watson, your Patrick Mahomes. Like I have escapability when needed.
Right.
But I'd much rather beat you with my arm than beat you with my legs. But if you catch me on a 3rd and 6 and the rush gets to me, I can get out of trouble, and I'll probably go pick up that first down and get my happy ass out of bounds.
Yep. And and shout out to my brother for coming through in the comments. Because I know he said he at work right now. Shout out to the New York EMS workers and all of them. This is what they do in their time. They're not saving people. They on in the comments of podcasts talking shit.
Okay. But so just to kind of push back on his comment, the same things were going on with Josh Allen, and now there was a point when we were praising this guy. But now look at what he's doing. He's reverting back to what's the difference? What is the difference?
The coaching.
Josh Allen he got a coach, and look what he did. Give Justin Fields an actual coach that can do something with him, and let's see what happens. Because all of a sudden you took that coach away from Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is starting to do the old Josh Allen things and throw the goddamn ball to the other team. So that's the whole point.
Yep.
He validated exactly what I said. He needed one of those types of guys.
Yep. Shout out to Twin Dre.
Still does.
Yeah.
I keep trying to tell y'all, I say we got the greatest podcast, but when the people say we got a great podcast, that's where everything comes in. That's the real right there. Shout out to Twin Dre on that. I didn't mean to cut you off on that.
Twin Dre. Oh no, you Gucci. No, we appreciate all the love and the feedback, but you're right. But the other thing though about Shedeur, which is important, and people need to understand it, he's learning from pure greatness. This man spends his off-season summer times with Tom Brady of all quarterbacks.
Right.
I'm just saying. When you Tom Brady's the GOAT. His time is money. This man is retired now. This man could be with his kids. This man is working with Shedeur Sanders in the summertime. That tells you what you need to know about the type of quarterback Shedeur Sanders is.
Hey, Tom Brady's in the gym shooting hoops, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying guys like Tom aren't going to spend time with you and on you and refining your skills. If he
didn't think you was worth it.
No, because look, has there been any videos of Tom Brady working with Archie Manning? No. He's working with Shedeur Sanders though.
Well, that's because he got his uncle working with him.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady.
He can't lose. Whether you working with Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
But Tom is more recently coming off of the NFL, where Peyton and Eli have been out of the league for a good minute now. I'm not saying that their brain doesn't work.
I can understand that.
But if you watch the videos of the way Tom is teaching, he can still get out there, show you, put the hands on you, do it Peyton will tell you, he's like, I ain't touched the weight room since I retired. Like Brady's still training. So Brady is still in that type of shape where, hey man, let's go hit the field, let's get the cleats on. Like, let's go do this real quick. Eli not gonna go do that shit. Eli look like he about to go fishing. Like he ain't about to do nothing football related for the next 20 years.
Arch Manning is different. He got that DNA in him. He got that Manning DNA.
No, he does, but
got that dog in
it. But that's what I'm getting at though, is like, Shedeur's been putting in the work. There's no shock to me, to the three of us on this panel. It's not surprising that Shedeur is doing what he's doing because one, we saw it at Jackson State, because some of us actually watch the games, and some of us are just fanboys because like, oh, I got to get on because the rest of the community is on there. Nah, fam, if you're really a football fan, you was out there watching this shit like the rest of us. Like,
yep,
exactly. So, yep. All right. Well, we're gonna push this on through. We got. Oh well. You want to run through last week's picks? Because I heard Mulich was cheating somehow or another.
So, in short summary, the picks came down. So Mulich beat the brakes off his own picks. He went 12-4 last week. So he did that. I went in and came in 8-8. So I'm on my best Mike Tomlin game right now. And OG Mel went 7-9, so he was doing his best
bullshit
Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a couple years ago type of thing. Or I can say Seattle Seahawks before the Beast Quake.
We still won the division, though. We still won the division.
You're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. So we did that. Not too bad. Like I said, there was some fun picks. It was fun doing that. The picks will get. I mean, I thought the picks were still solid, but the picks will only get better from here. Obviously, for Thursday night, I mean. If anybody chose Kirk Cousins in prime time, I can't help you. Like,
you're stupid.
I mean, listen, I love Kirk. I love Kim. Listen,
not on prime time though.
Kimfo Kirk. I already told you, my dog. You're invited to the cookout, man. You are just the early cookout. You're not invited to the prime time cookout. You know what I'm saying?
If it starts at 4:00, you can't come.
Yeah, like you gotta stay home, bro. But if we start at noon, hey, bro, pull up immediately. Pull up on site. You're welcome.
Man, y'all leave Cuzzo Kirk alone, man.
He can show up in the khakis and the Air Monarchs with the plaid shirt, man. We with it, man.
When the sun is up, or the lights is on, Kirk Cousins doesn't show up.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins got to be home before the street lights come on.
My boy Cuzzo Kirk had a good solid outing last night, man.
Now I will say he did actually play. He damn near pulled off a comeback. And
did he though?
Damn near. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, he damn near did, but it led to a different thing for me. I told Mel I was gonna bring this up during the show. I'll be on my GQ Nostradamus thing. So something came to mind as I was watching this game, and then I watched last week's football too, and I was just like, I'm seeing a trend here, right? So we know how last season Minnesota was that team. They won 11 one-score games last year, and we're like, all right. Anybody notice the scores of the last two Philadelphia Eagles games?
One scores.
They won by 5 in week 1, and then they won by a touchdown this past one. And I'm like, all right, they're winning by the skin of their teeth here. Like that's an interesting recipe we're doing here. And I'm like, we know the Eagles' offense should be a lot better. You have a very good defense. Why are you winning these games so close?
New offense, totally different offense.
Sure, but your defense is still pretty damn good. But you're winning these very close games. And mind you, I'll give you your props. You are capitalizing off of some mistakes of the other team, some turnovers, some fumbles. Justin Jefferson, you a dumbass. I'm calling it out because you should not have fumbled that goddamn ball in the end zone like that. Like you catch the ball by the red zone, my G. Just tuck it. Quit trying to reach. Just tuck it. They could have threw a fade route to you on the next play and you could have scored. You'd have been good.
Bill Belichick says it all the time. Don't reach for the damn pylon. There's only bad things that can happen.
No, and what kills me is all these football fans are like, oh, they need to change the fumble out of the back of the end zone rule. Why? Why the fuck are you fumbling out of the back of the end zone? Let's start with that.
Just catch the ball and go down.
Yeah, like you would have went down at the 1 yard line if you simply caught that ball, tucked it like we're taught as receivers, and just go to the ground. I got it. Yep. I applaud you for fighting for the extra yards. That's one thing. But the way he reached for it, he didn't have true control of that ball when he reached. The ball was already coming out before his arms were extended. So it was already
the fact that they called it a catch, because they could have said it wasn't a catch.
They could have pulled a Dez Bryant and said it wasn't a catch. They 100% could have done that because I don't know if he had fully control on that.
I don't think he did. The Eagles did. I mean, they lost. I mean, they were playing with 4 new players in the secondary. They were playing with a lot of. I was worried.
It is a very brand new team. You did lose all your coordinators to become head coaches. You did let C.J. Gardner-Johnson go to Detroit. Like you did, but you also drafted more Georgia Bulldogs on top of this. Like it's not like you were.
Sure but they all showed up because they all on the defensive line.
Yeah, because you replaced those players on defense you lost with some absolute dogs. All pun intended on the term dogs when I say that. So, did your defense take a downgrade? Not necessarily.
The secondary took a hit.
Yeah, secondary, but your front seven, you're still getting to the quarterback. You're still generating pressure. So
Josh Sweat will
come. Yeah, so the secondary will get there. The secondary will get there, and Philadelphia may lead the league again in sacks. It's highly possible with the new blood. So,
they will.
We'll see, but
they will.
He was talking about getting to the picks and stuff. So, Mel, did you want to do what we had talked about pre-show with our picks, or what was your
I think we can do it. We can do it. We'll do it.
We'll do it that way. All right.
We'll do it that way.
All right. So you got some homework. We're gonna submit our picks via video recording to OG Mel. He's gonna chop them up and put them on the TikTok. So y'all make sure y'all checking out the Inside the Huddle TikTok. Our picks will be live. We will be posting them things. So y'all be on the lookout for that. So y'all can't sit there and be like, oh man, they bullshitting, they cheating, they fabricating. No, we recording it, we're putting it on video, and when it hits social media, it's official. God damn it.
Yep, I'll cut them up. I'll get them this way because, like I said, we're gonna get a spreadsheet. I still don't understand how Mullins went 12 and whatever the fuck you went. 12
I already
before.
got the
Fuck you,
spreadsheet.
Mulich.
I'll email you the spreadsheet. I already got it made for the whole
Oh
season.
no, I gotta double check on that. I feel
I
like it was
does
just
this,
some,
man.
there was
Come
some
on,
collusion.
dog.
There was some collusion involved
He
in all
said,
this.
"I
does
does
this,
Hey, look, all you
man.
gotta
I
do
really
is go.
does this.
Hey, go verify the last episode. I just typed them up, and I don't mistype. I don't mistype very often.
Hey, I does this.
I know.
Man.
There was a couple
really
games like just some stupidity happened during the games.
But listen, we know how week 1 is. Most analysts even seen it like week 1 was bad for everybody. So it's kind of a wash week. Week 2, we should fare a lot better. There's a couple of
a little more
games we looked
consistent.
at. Me and Mel been looking at this week 2 slate's pretty daunting. Like there's some legitimate.
Oh
couple
no
of trap
fucking
games.
way.
Mulish must be in traffic.
Either he in traffic or breaking news doesn't happen. One of the two. You know,
Yeah.
No, my bad. I'm in
boom,
traffic,
breaking
bro.
news
This
and
nigga,
shit. Oh.
he just put his hands on right in front of me and stopped. I was like, oh damn it. Okay, my bad though. My bad.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Don't hurt nobody out there.
Right. All right. So, like I said, what we'll do is what's today? It is 4:38. I will get the picks. I will post them first thing tomorrow morning so everybody can see them. They can judge us later. Fuck y'all.
Yep.
It is what it is. This is what we do. But this is what we do. I'll get back to my normal self. Because you know me, it's mostly I like picking the upsets. That's my thing. I'm the upset guy. You know, other games really don't they mean stuff to me, but I'm the upset guy.
I'm not the upset guy. I try to pick with as much research as I can think of given the situations, but we know how the NFL is. Whatever we think could be the complete fucking opposite of what happens.
Right. That's why people ask me, like, let me get your picks.
Yeah. Of all the games we watched last week, I did not see what happened to the Steelers coming. I didn't see that shit for a second.
Not even remotely.
Ooh, only one of you will finish over 500 this week. Let's go. I love it.
And it's going to be your boy.
I fucks with it. Pressure bust pipes and make diamonds, and I'm about to be shining.
Right. This is what I'm making a phone call to him. Like I said, I'm gonna call my brother. I'm gonna get his picks because I'm gonna put his picks against our picks, and we see who went over 500.
Hey, listen, we out there looking.
Everybody like this. Everybody in the comments. I want
y'all submit y'all picks, man.
Everybody,
put your picks in the comments, man.
Put your picks in the comments.
Inside the huddles picks against the field. We'll call y'all the field, and we ain't talking about Justin.
Right, because we don't like Justin.
You don't like Justin.
I don't like say you speaking French because me like Justin. Okay.
But we'll definitely we'll put the I'll put the picks up tomorrow morning, bright and early, ready to rock and roll for the games on Sunday. Here we go. Wait a minute. There we go. So we got a commitment already. Our brother said he'll do it. Let's see what he says.
I don't think it was an easy call.
We picked the Steelers.
I don't think it was an easy call, but saying we didn't expect them to get their ass whooped like that. I thought it would be a much more competitive game than what it actually was. Like
we thought it was going to be a true defensive dogfight. That's what we. That's
right.
You don't see Mike Tomlin teams just get their ass handed to them like that. That
not like that.
Not no blowout like that.
Like that's not really a thing.
Exactly. We thought it was going to be more of a defensive dogfight, defensive, battle, defensive struggle, and somebody's going to pull it out by 1, maybe 2 points in the end. That.
James, what you mean? Why? What are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about why? Oh, why? Oh, because Mike Tomlin. We got that much belief in Mike Tomlin.
Not only that,
he has his guys ready to play. Like
isn't bad.
He has his guys ready to play, and they, and defensively, they're not a bad team defensively. Like, and look, I'm not even mad at you saying about the Niners. The Niners are phenomenal. They really are. Like 100%. Nobody's doubting that. The Niners have a chance to easily be the number 1 seed in the NFC this year, and that's kind of where my head is leaning anyway. But I just like, the way the Steelers have been consistent for pretty much all of Mike Tomlin's tenure. Like,
right.
I don't even think Mike Tomlin has 5 blowout losses on his resume since he's taken over as a Steelers coach. Like I'd have to go back.
We'd have to dig on that one, and I don't think. I think you're right on that.
I'd have to really look at it, but I don't think so. But just looking at the matchup, you can. It's not far fetched to say that the Steelers and the Niners would have had a defensive fight. Like they both had some really solid defenses. Both O lines were weak. Like it's not far fetched to say that the Steelers could have competed in that game, which they should.
I really wanted one of those 17-20 defensive games. Like I really wanted one of those games because I was.
I thought we were going to get it. I thought we were going to get it.
I thought it was going to be like 14-17.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm like I said, we're gonna do it. We're gonna post it. Everybody, you watching, you listening on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listening to, wherever you watching this, YouTube, TikTok. I just found out we can stream on TikTok, so we're definitely gonna end up doing that. Drop your comments. Drop your comments. Put your picks in. Let's see how good a prognosticator you are.
100%, man. Y'all can submit your picks. Y'all can shoot us on the DMs over.
And I'm gonna post it too. So don't think you.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Because we putting them out there on the live stream. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll stand on that. But I'm telling you right now, testament to the 49ers' greatness. This particular season, you might be right. As long as they don't fall victim to the injury bug like they have the last 4 years.
And I don't trust Kyle Shanahan in the damn playoffs.
Nope. That's my biggest thing. Once the regular season, cool. When the lights get really big, I do not trust Kyle Shanahan.
When the lights get bright, Kyle Shanahan, that boy gets a photo, okay? Like a lawn chair. It's going to happen again.
Yep. Again.
Well, hey, look, they're still good enough in the playoffs to beat Dallas.
That's true. But I don't think they're going to do it this year with that D-line.
No, but Dallas defense we're going to see what Dallas defense look like this week. If it looked like it did last week, it might have a little problem. Just a little.
If they do to Zach Wilson what happened to Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So, hey, I appreciate every single person that stopped through in the chat. James Cummings, pause. Got to check that. Can't do that.
I thought we was gonna get through a whole show without it.
You're gonna have to change. I know you can't change your last name, but change your name, James, to something. Twin Dre, shout out for the great podcast. My brother came through again. He went there talking his nonsense. Should be at work, but we ain't gonna say something about that.
Shout out to my mom. My mom is a big fan of the show. She think the three of us is funny as hell. She loves all the TikToks that we keep posting. So my mom was listening to the show while we was on the road the whole time getting here. So
shout out to Mama GQ. Micah B was in the comments. Like everybody, we appreciate all the love we get. Like I said, it's only gonna get better. We only gonna get better. The show's gonna get better.
The best damn show on YouTube, man.
The best damn show out. Period. Point blank.
Speaking
it's
of
not
that,
even close.
OG Mill, can I borrow like 35 seconds real quick?
Do your thing, man.
Because you said my buddy was in the chat. So DJ Michael B, I hope your motherfucking ass is listening. Just like Mel did his whole worldwide tour. Oh, it ain't over yet. I told him I'm gonna bust your ass in fantasy this week, and I'm gonna keep talking that shit, and I'm gonna post that score when you take this hot ass L. Deal with it.
Oh shit! Hey, my boy has been on a tirade all week. All week.
DJ Michael B go back to the 90s, and in fantasy, we talk the shit. We hate each other during the weeks we play each other. And we are in 4 separate leagues together. So there's going to be a lot of shit talking going on this year.
I love it.
He said called
the bus 2.
All
right, cool with it.
So we got James the bus. We got that. All right, I'm just making sure I ain't missing nobody in these comments. Think we good. Yeah, we got everyone. We good.
And special shout out to the haters too. We got a lot of them out there.
We get sneaky eyes. So
we love the haters.
They trying to do what we do. They don't understand why we're good at what we do.
No,
it's because you ain't us. Point blank period.
Hey,
it's a lot of
hate us because they ain't
us. And it's a lot of bigger shows out there hating on our little bitty show. We just on the come up. Just trying to be great. But, before greatness, you got to have a little hate. That's just how it gets down.
They said, you ain't popping if you ain't got no haters. So
100%. Hey man, Robert Saleh said that.
Hey, they're peanut butter and jealous. Okay? Peanut butter and jealous. Okay.
Make sure you throw some bananas on that thing. Get some extra protein. You need some extra
energy for
all that hate.
Yeah, because you're making yourself angry and you get tired. You need some more. Need that extra pump.
Yeah, man. And have a Snickers while you're at it, because you're not the same when you don't have a Snickers. All right.
Right. You're not the same. You're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah. It's a long season. We're only in week 2, baby. We got a long way to go.
It's only week 2. Oh my God. And we still ain't digging into this college football.
I'm trying to tell you.
Colorado State.
Oh.
That ass will coming.
Yeah, man.
46-3. I'm calling it right now.
46-3. I'm gonna realistically say, give me 35-7. Give me 35-7.
35-7.
They gonna put up their first 40 piece.
Look,
no, they put up a 40 piece.
Moolage out here spritzing and shit. He is.
Come on, man.
Go steal somebody's wife or something? What you doing?
Hey,
I know.
Hey, you never know, man. I'm always on the prowl.
But no, they put up.
I'm trying to figure out if that's a book bag or you got a gun on. What are you getting ready to do?
Hey, I can't divulge that information on live television or a live YouTube, sir. But you can hit me backstage and we can go ahead and talk about that after.
All right. Yo, once again, this has been Inside the Huddle's Football Friday. This is how we do it. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like what did Tom Hanks in what is that show?
Hey, life's like a box of chocolates, man.
The show's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
But to all the haters, I'm gonna do you like Forrest Gump did. Hey, Lieutenant Dan, I got you some ice cream.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Ice cream.
So we are. That's what I'm gonna do. I gotta get to hit the button, girl. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be for next week. I got that ready to go for next week.
Oh yeah.
Hit the goddamn button. Thanks y'all for coming out. My brother in the chat, he just, he said good job. This is what we do. Next week, Football Friday. Matter of fact, we might do the Melmonte Jones takeover. Might happen again next week, part 2. So we'll see.
Oh shit.
All right. So we don't know what Moolage is doing right now. He looked like a hitman.
Look like he at the mall shopping right now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing a lot right now, man. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. I'm always on the prowl. Like I said, man, I'm always on the prowl, always on the move, man. You know what I mean?
All right, shit. We up out of here. We'll catch you next week, next Friday. Like I said, Basket to Basket on Monday. We got Gentlemen's Talk on Wednesday. Player versus team on Thursday. And then we back here on Friday. We up out of here. See, the boys done left. Left me by myself. Fucked up.